Welcome to another video. I am going to be kitting down today the start of my 250 color Josephine Wall diamond painting, and this is going to be at least 2 parts because it is a lot of colors, 250, and it's going to take some time because I do not have these in DMC order. I have them in the order that I diamond painted them, and that was basically in symbol order. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. If you have not seen my finish of that one, I will put the playlist up at the top of the eye so you can go back and see the other videos that I do have with those. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I need to get something to hold this. I am not going to separate these by company. These are rounds, and all of my other Josephine Wall diamond paintings that I have from Diamond Painting Deutschland, they are all squares. When I do kit those down, I'm going to separate those out. But since these are rounds, the only thing that I am going to use rounds for is in case I am short on any kits, and I'll just go through and pull out the ones that I need from bags if I am short, instead of trying to keep so many different bags. I don't want to have multiple bags, and I really would not like to have multiple. I really don't want to have multiple bags around, multiple boxes, and I'd rather just have 1 or 2 boxes, which I'm seeing that is not going to be the case as I go through and kit down. You do not have to kit down by any means. I like to kit down and save my drills just in case. Recently I have had kits that were missing drills, and while most of the companies will send you drills for free if you purchase the kit through them, I really don't want to wait because some of those can take a very long time depending on where I purchased the kit from, and then others won't do that. They'll expect you to get your own colors, which is okay, but I don't want to have to wait and hunt them down. So it's nice to be able to go into my box, see exactly what I need, and I'll do that on the rounds, but on the squares, I am going to separate some of mine just for the fact that on squares, I really am enjoying doing the diamond conversion, cross-stitch conversion, and I want to have drills so next time I can use drills that's in my stash as well as order drills, because that can get really expensive, especially if you do the max color cross-stitch conversions, which I saw one that I really liked that I want to do. It's going to be a while because the one that I'm working on is going to take me a very long time, and I'm okay with that. I'm not in any hurry. So I'm just going to save the drills from all of the premium companies that I really do like, and then I will see which ones that I can use with my next kit. And especially Diamond Painting Deutschland has some of the best drills. I haven't done anything, any squares with them yet, but as I said, I have several. My next one that I'm going to be starting on shortly for the Josephine Wall event, that one is also a square. So I will keep those once I am done. And these stickers are coming off really well, and this has been well over a year that I have not been able to use any of my storage containers that I had for a use for diamond painting porcelain, and that's fine. Let's see. But so far I'm not having any problems with getting these off, which is really good. I was kind of worried. There were a few drills, I would say out of 250, there were about 4 or 5 that I only had like 2 or 3 drills left. That is very different on that color. If the colors are different, I'm not going to mix them in. I will have 2 bags because I really don't want to go through and figure out which color that I need. Which that's what I usually do on the squares and on the rounds. I'm not going to do any special thing with the rounds. So I don't really need to keep that many rounds because all of the cross stitch conversions are done with squares. The ones that I plan on doing anyway are with squares. And the cross stitch conversion kit I'm working on now, I thought that I had ordered plenty of drills for that one, but as I'm going through and looking at my cross stitch conversion, I'm not so sure. So I may have to pull some out of my stash, which is fine. Let's see, 676. If I have them. It's been kind of ironic. The ones that I need lately that I run out of, I don't have those. You know, which is kind of my luck. I need something there. Let me see this. I have moved my box around a little bit. I've gotten an extension box that I was using just for my ABs, and I've changed how I'm doing that now. So I'm using that as just an extension box of this one for my rounds, and hopefully that will be okay for a while until I can get a larger box. I did order a large box, but they sent me extra large instead of the large that I ordered. The extra large, it's a really pretty box, but it's huge. It will not work for what I wanted it to. So I'm sending that one back and going ahead and waiting until they come in. It should be 156, not 159. Some of these I don't have, which is good. It's a good start. I really enjoyed doing this kit, but I have to tell you, it feels so good to be done. I've had this one in my stash for a very long time, in my whips, my work in progress, for a very long time. I put it up, worked on other things, and I would bring it out for a short time and then start working on something else and just basically get sidetracked and not go back to it like I should. I don't plan on doing that one for the next one, especially when the J-Wall event will be going for 2 months. And so I definitely feel like I need to work on that one. Trying to see, even though these are not in order, I'm going to try to just glance at each one in the box. I used Harbor Freights on these, and it was the first time that I had used Harbor Freights. I actually bought Harbor Freight specifically for this project, and this was when I started and didn't have hardly any organizers, any bottles or anything, and so now I have plenty. I know what I want to do. I've already kitted up my next one, and it is in the small containers that are attached. If you haven't seen that video, I will go ahead and put that up as well, so that way you can take a look and see how I plan on doing my next one. I have to say, I am not a fan of the Harbor Freights. I might be for another project. I will use them again. I'm not going to get rid of them. I have around 7 or 8 of the containers of the Harbor Freights, and then how many of I'm not sure how many boxes come in each one. I don't remember. But I'm going to keep them. I will use them for other projects, but some of these just did not close that well. They hold a lot, I will say that much. But some of these just, they were closing fine, and then they started opening up, and I lost some drills because of it. Had to figure out where some of the drills went. But they do hold quite a bit. A lot of these I don't have already. That's good. It's always nice to start a new bag, because then I have the start of some new drills. And I do have all of the DMC numbers printed out. I just need to take time to go through and put them on each bag. I should have done that before I even started with this project, having everything in there before I even started using my box, but I didn't do that. So I have to be really careful that I don't get any of these out of order, so that way I know exactly what numbers they are. That is on my to-do list for spring break, because I'll have extra time to diamond paint and to get more organized. So that is definitely the plan. I don't see a card for 323 or 333. That's why there's not one. Okay, 333. Hopefully I'll have time to get quite a bit done for spring break. During spring break, that's the plan anyway, just to rest and to just be around the house, get some things done around the house, and then also I want to get my craft room back in order. Been making quite a few cards lately, and I need to get my room cleaned up. 522. Oh, there's another one. Doesn't have a bag. This is going pretty quickly for now. I'm hoping to get 4 of the Harbor Freight boxes done on this video, and then I will have 3 Harbor Freights left and 1 Elizabeth Ward. And I probably should have went ahead and done the Elizabeth Ward first, because that one I really enjoy using, and I would like to use it for another project, but I have one that I just emptied recently for my Elizabeth Ward, so I should be okay with that one. I don't plan on kitting up another one for a while until I get at least my mermaid Rochelle from Diamond Art Club. That's Hannah Leon's. Once I get that one completed, then I will go ahead and possibly kit something else up. But I really want to get back to Dragon Lady, and that one is from Lazy River, and I've started on it, and it's really fun to do. But I had to stop that one in order to start on the one that I wanted to do for Mermaids and Magic. And I could have even done Dragon Lady for Mermaids and Magic. I was kind of debating, going back and forth, which one should I do for Mermaids and Magic? And ended up with the Mermaid, because I've been wanting to do a Mermaid. And I said last year, after Mermaids and Magic was over, that my plan for this year would be to do a Mermaid, because I went with the Magic last year. And so I am over halfway done with my mermaid. And now that I have finished with Diana, I might have a little bit of time to diamond paint more on my smaller ones. That's about the same color. And I do keep debating if I should separate all of these, even the rounds. And I may not even separate the squares, except for ones that I plan on using for other projects. I think that might get confusing. If I keep it in the same box, I'm going to have to pull the right one out each time, and I know how that's going to go. Let's see, here's a 932. So we'll see. I'm just debating. This is not, should put some of these back over here. I've got to move this over just a little bit so I can get to them. I don't have, some of these I probably should have put a cardstock backing with. But I've taken those out. I don't think that I really needed them. And I probably could move some of my cards back over because I've got a lot of room there. It'd be nice if I could get these off a little better. All right. I've got number 11. I think I'm going to have to go to the smaller box, I think. This one still has a cardboard in it. I'm going to take that one off. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing okay. Looks like it. It is halfway sunny today. It's not exactly cloudy. It's not exactly sunny. I guess partly cloudy. But sun keeps popping in and out, which is nice. We are supposed to get some bad weather this evening. So I really need to take time and go to the store, run some errands today, because I really don't want to do that tomorrow and get wet. I'm going to put these over there because that's going to go in the other box. And I'll just move that box over whenever I am ready for it. These are all 3300s. So I've gotten this one sort of finished. Thought it might be easier to do one box and then do the other one so I can reach a little better. We'll see how that goes. Here's 613. Let's see. I'm really hoping that I do finish my mermaid before April, or at least close to it, because when I start on our event, which is the Josephine Wall event, and I will put Kim and Angie's information underneath the description so you can also check them out. We are really close to having everything ready to go on that one, so we're really excited about that. If you want to participate and you have not gotten a Josephine Wall kit, you still have time, but if you're in the US and you need to order, you may want to start thinking about it. I know that Diamond Painting Deutschland does tend to ship fairly quickly. There's a few in there I shouldn't have put in. Does tend to ship fairly quickly to the US, or whenever I have ordered. Their shipping is pricey, but if you order more than one, if you're able to order more than one diamond painting, it makes the shipping seem not as bad. But then you have to spend more for diamond painting, so that's something you have to think about too. The only other one that I know, if you wanted to do a cross-stitch conversion, you would still have to have time to order your drills if you don't have all the drills. And depending on where you order from, that can take a little while. Or it can be, really fast. Just depends. And the one with the diamond art, mine took a while to ship, but I ordered my kit in November and it didn't ship until middle of January. But that could have been, you know, because of the holidays and everything, could have taken longer. It seems like Angie's didn't take that long once she ordered hers. And she is in Canada. So I'm not really sure on how long that would normally take. And then Uniquely Yours down under, theirs does tend to take a very long time to ship. And I heard that she's in the process of moving. I don't know if she's moving or if she is moving just the business or both. But they are running behind on orders because she's moving and she can't handle, or she can't, I don't know if I shouldn't say she can't handle, I don't know if she can or not, but since she's in the process of moving, she has put some shipments on hold, is what I have been told from a couple of people. I don't know if that's 100% accurate because I have not spoken to Jennifer, the owner. And other than those three, and then also, you know, diamond painting or cross-stitch conversions, I don't know of any other place that is currently selling Josephine Wall. I really wish another U.S. company would license her. She has such gorgeous paintings, but they're getting harder and harder to come by. 642. Oh, there's not hardly any in there. I don't know if I should even bother. And that's a new one. There's only like 7 or 8 drills in there, but since I have them here, I'll go ahead and put it in this container or in these baggies. You never know when you're going to need them. There's like 10 in there, and that's probably not even worth to save, but 10's 10. If you run out, you still have a couple. Let's see here. Fine. It's so much easier when these are in DMC order, but I just cannot diamond paint that way with Josephine Walls. Anything else I can diamond paint in DMC order. I don't have a problem whatsoever, but with this, it becomes very difficult to diamond paint for me because there's so many symbols at 250 that I don't want to have to look at each container. So if I put mine in by symbol, I can find my symbols so much easier. Okay. I have no idea how long this video is going to go. I really would like to get to a certain stopping point, and then I would feel comfortable about not having as much left. And I have several videos that I have plans on doing. I'm trying not to put too many out at one time. I'm spreading them out. I don't know if you guys would prefer to have videos spread out, or if you like them. I've been doing 4 to 5 a week. And I try on my videos to do them the same time every week. My dog is crying to go out. I hope my daughter hears her and goes and takes her out for me. I doubt it. Okay, let's see. I need some more. Let's go with 800s. 823. I should have emptied my garbage when before I started doing this. And there she goes. Let's just hope that she sees here. If not, I will have to stop for a few minutes and go and let her out. She hasn't been out in a long time. She took a very long nap today. Usually Molly doesn't take that long an afternoon nap, but she did today. My husband is not home. He would run and check her out. Paige is upstairs. She may not hear her. Okay, I did have to stop for a few minutes because I didn't think she would hear her, to go and let Molly out. It's a cold day, but it's a pretty day for her. And she can go outside for just a little bit because tomorrow it is supposed to be raining all day. It's supposed to be really nasty, stormy, and rainy, and she is not going to be happy if she can't go outside. It's not going to be fun. All right, this one is 9:09, so I'm trying to let her and Zoe out as much as possible today. She doesn't like being in the house for a long time. She likes to go outside. She loves her squirrels, and there's some baby chipmunks that have recently been born in our yard, and she is trying her best. She doesn't want to get to them to hurt them. She's just trying to check them out, and they are in one of my husband's. He has some tubing, some piping that he had, and they've gotten in that, and they've buried deep in the middle of that piping. And so she hears them and she can smell them, and she knows that there's something in there, and it's driving her crazy because she knows something is in there and she can't get to it. 9:28. A lot of these I don't have. That's really good. Some I only had just very few left, and then others I have a lot. But I didn't run out of any, so that is the important part of it. I thought I wasn't going to record this today. I thought, well, I'll just wait until sometime next week because it's not going to go out until next week anyway. But my husband had to go to his mom's and to do some work there on her roof. And she lives about an hour away. So I thought it would be a good time because the TV's not on. Paige is upstairs playing a game, and it will be quiet to where I don't have to worry. And I can record when he's here. It's just when I'm getting to where I prefer to record either in our little breakfast nook or in my office because it sounds better. Oh, this is falling. It sounds a lot better than it does in my craft room because my craft room, it is in the basement. It's okay in the summer to record down there, but in the winter when the heat comes on quite a bit, it's kind of loud and it kind of makes a kind of a roaring noise in the background. I have tried when I go to edit to try to make that not as loud, and I can make it to where it's not as noisy, but it's still a little much. So I don't like doing that, and sometimes it does have an echo downstairs because, it is a basement, but it's so much easier in my craft room because I have everything there instead of having to bring it upstairs. But I do like the audio better upstairs. Let's see. I do not have any static in these. Now, these have been out for over a year, so that could be it. But even some of the ones that I have kitted down recently have had static. And let's not even talk about kitting up, how bad the static has been on kitting up. I want to have a couple kitted up just for the summer, so that way I can decide which one I want to work on, and I don't have to stop and kit up because I have a little bit of extra time. I can just kit up. And I haven't even really wanted to because I am just not in the mood to fight the static. And thankfully, with my Diamond Painting Deutschland, I tried a couple of the tips that you guys have given me. And then Angie also used Static Guard and was telling me that it worked for her. So I thought, well, I'm going to try that. And that worked absolute wonders. So I'll do that again. But I just wasn't in the mood to do that today. If I'm going to do a video, I'm either going to do a kitting up or a kitting down. I really need to get these kitted down, so that made perfect sense. But and if I kitted something else up, I would probably want to start working on something else. And I really just don't need to do that. Even though I've gotten to where if I want to work on something, it's like, who cares how many work in progress that I have? And who cares how many finishes that I have? If it's something that I want to work on, I'm going to do it. I've kind of just come to that mindset lately, just because it's like, you never know. Time is valuable. You never know how much time you're going to have. Anything can happen. Not trying to be, morbid or anything by any means, but, anything can happen to where I could get too busy with work or the house or, anything, travel, or whatever. And I just can't, I can't diamond paint for some reason, or I have, other things going on, and I don't want to miss out on, time that something I wanted to work on, and I just couldn't get around to it. So if I'm in the mood to work on, say, a landscape, and I don't have one that's in my work in progress, or there's something that I've gotten in that I really want to do, I'm thinking about going ahead and starting it. I was listening to Anxiety Art Adventures, that's Laura, and she was saying that she has, I think it was around 9 work in progress, and that she was perfectly fine with having that many, because some days she may want to work on a really bright and colorful diamond painting. Other days she may want to work on something that, is more of a comical type thing. And she said that if she wants to work on something, that she's going to. And as I was listening to her whip and chat, I thought that makes absolute perfect sense. If it's something that makes you happy, why not do it? Why hold yourself back and not give yourself the satisfaction of something that you really want to do? Because it's just a hobby. It's not like that it is critical that I have X amount completed, or that I have, X amount in my work in progress. I'm not getting paid for my diamond paintings, although that would be fun to a certain point, and then I think that it would feel like work, and I don't want it to feel like work. I work enough. I want it to feel like fun and enjoyable and therapeutic, and not work. 890. And with that being said, there's like 2 that I really want to work on, but I just don't want to kit them up. So I must not want to work on them that bad. If I was really itching to work on the 2 that I keep looking at saying I really want to work on those, then I would just go ahead and kit up. But that also takes away time that I could diamond paint. And I've gotten so bad on the weekends. I'm used to, I would get up, I would do things around the house. There's always something that I had planned to do, whether it was, a thorough clean or whatever. And now it's just, I get up on the weekends, I diamond paint for a little bit, I have to go to the store or whatever, and I wait until the afternoon to even do that. And I've got to stop being so lazy. My husband said the same thing about himself. He's like, usually I'm up doing things. Even in the winter, he would be doing things around the house, and things that he wouldn't want to do in the summer. When it gets warmer out, he likes to be outside and working in the yard and doing different things. But usually in the winter, he'll go out in the garage and, you know, just mess around out there and do whatever, move things around, get better organized. And he hasn't wanted to do that lately either. So I know exactly how he feels because I feel the same way. 561. So I think he will be gone for a while since he had to go and help her. When his dad, after his dad passed away, he was worried about where his dad and his mom were living, and it was his childhood home, but it was going into bad disarray. It needed a lot of work, and the neighborhood had really gone downhill. So he was worried, you know, for his mom's safety, and, you know, that was really, you know, admirable. He didn't want her to go into an apartment, and, you know, she's on a fixed income. And so when his dad was alive, he wasn't as worried because his dad, you know, if they had a problem, his dad could scare people off. He wasn't, you know, even as old as he was, he wasn't really that old when he passed away, but he would be able to, you know, take care of him and, you know, his wife. And if something happened, he would be able to protect them. But he knew that she wouldn't be able to. So he ended up talking her into selling that home. And then the proceeds that she had gotten out of that house, he used a little bit of it. They didn't get a whole lot because it was an older home. And he did give her some of that. And then he went and bought her a house in his name and told her that she could always stay there, you know, as long as, you know, she wanted to. And so when there's a problem with the house, she always laughs and she says, I'm going to call my landlord, have him come and fix so-and-so. She always calls him before, you know, she calls a handyman because, you know, why pay for somebody else when he can do the work? And she doesn't pay to live there. It's just, that's a joke between the two of them. She's going to call her landlord. So he went to make sure that everything was okay. He didn't think there's going to be a problem. His sister was looking at the roof, and there was a couple of shingles, I think, that had gotten blown off. And it's a fairly new roof. It's only about 5 years old, I think. So he's not concerned about that, about there's any problem, but he wanted to go get up on the ladder, which scares me, and check, make sure everything's okay. And then she had called right before he was about to eat lunch and go and asked if I was going to come. And I felt kind of bad because I haven't gone the last couple of times. And she's always asking about me. And I do want to go and visit her. It just seems like there's always something. And he told her that Paige wasn't feeling well. Her allergies are just really bothering her again. She's on antibiotics and her allergies are starting to bother her already. Of course, she didn't even get off of this round. And we don't want to leave her and be that far away. You know, I'll leave her for a little bit if I'm going to work, which is 15 minutes away. You know, if I'm going to the store, you know, that's one thing. And we're both around. We're not very far. But I don't want to go an hour away, a little over an hour, and then something happens and I can't get home fast enough. And with Madison not being here, I don't have anybody else in town that I could call and say, look, I need you to help me. You know, there's a problem or whatever. That's not any further out than, you know, us, where we would be too. So it was just best that I stay home. And with her, she feels good enough to where, you know, she'll go and socialize and everything, but I don't want her to risk giving his mom anything. She's older. She's actually 88. And I don't think what Paige has is strictly allergies, but I don't want to take a chance. It's just best not to go. So there will be a next time when something else comes up or he just goes to visit. And I think it's nice for him as mom just to have their own time together sometimes. I think that's really important too. Let's see. There's a 502. I'm really trying to stay in one box at a time. Thought maybe that will speed it up a little bit. Now I've got a bunch on the side over there that has to go in the next box. I have a feeling that this one, I know it was going to go into 2 parts. I have a feeling this may go into 3, if not more. Because I have never kitted down 250 colors before at one time. And I have another kit that I need to kit down that I finished in February. And that one's also rounds. And I really want that container. It's the only one I have of that one. And I'm ready to use it again. So I probably should have kitted that one up before this one. But I want to get this one put up because it's taking up the most space. And it has been on our table for a few days. And my husband never complains that, you know, I have stuff everywhere relatively speaking. You know, I have an office, everything of my stuff is in there. My office is kind of messy with things that have come in. I just keep it there before I put it in my craft room downstairs. That way I know what I need to do. Let's see, there's a 700 now. There's a 6. And here's some 3s. Okay, good. There's a lot of green in here. I didn't realize how much green that was in here until I started going through all of these. 367. So hopefully, with this long video, for those of you that like to listen and to diamond paint or make cards or color or draw or whatever, that this will give you a chance to have some quality time to yourself, have something to listen to while you are working. That's what I do anyway. Sometimes I like to just diamond paint and it's really quiet, especially like in the mornings when I get up. I like to diamond paint before I'm waiting on Paige to get up, to get ready to go to school. And it's just nice to be just quiet. And then there's other times where I get tired of it being so quiet. That's color's a little different. Okay. I kind of get tired of the quietness and I like to listen to whip and chat. Oh, that is totally different. Oh well. That's a totally different green, but that's okay. It's not horrible. All right. Let me see here. I'm trying to get all the ones out. There's another 800. There's 7. All right, 725. It always makes me happy, though, to kit down, even though I kind of dread it sometimes on kitting down, because I just do sometimes. But it's kind of nice because then when you're kitting down, you know you have finished something. It is, to me, it's a major accomplishment when I'm kitting down because I have finally finished a project. I can put it upstairs in our spare bedroom where I store them. And then I am ready to start on something else or ready to start on another whip. 702. That's almost the same color. Paige has closed the door into our little nook that I'm in, and my cat is not happy because both doors are closed and she can't get in. So she may start whining. She can't get in through the kitchen and she can't get in through our side area. I don't think Paige thought about that when she closed the door. So she may start getting really mad here in a minute. All right, here is, let's go to that one, is over there, 807. Oh, that cannot be 807. That says 807. This is not 807. It says peacock blue. What is this? Let's see. That's that one. All right. Where's it gotten? Okay, that's 807. I mean, it's one thing to have an off color blue, but when you have blue and clearly a baby pink, then you know something's not right there. All right, there's 807. No, this one doesn't want to come off. That is quite all right. Okay, there's that one. 826. There's an 826. That's the same color. That's good. I think I'm going to, I've done 2 boxes, almost 3 boxes, up until the 3300s. I think I will finish the 3300s in these boxes. The 4th box I'm going to put up and do that on my next round of these, because it's still going to take me probably another 30 minutes to finish up. I don't want to make this too long for you guys. And if I have to, when I go to edit this, I can just put some of this into part 2. That is the joy of editing. I'm still learning how to edit better. Oh, I'm not going to keep these. These are not going, because there are 2 different colors in here. That's the one that I mixed together, poured it into the wrong one. I thought, well, I know which one that it is. I'll just use it instead of picking each one out. But I'm not going to go through to save those to pick all those out. It's way too many. I was doing that late one night and I just poured it right into the wrong one. And it wasn't even the same color. There were clearly 2 different colors. One of those things where I guess I wasn't paying attention. So on that one, I am just going to dump those and then that will be good. All right, so got a couple of these. It will be nice to have containers back. Wow, I've got a lot of containers left now, empty. Okay, which is good, very nice. All right, let me see. These I'll go over here for my next box. Now I've got 987s. Let's see, 987. That goes right there. Hopefully, I will be able to get this done maybe by this week, and then I will just have these go out at different times. That's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going out of town in a couple of weeks, so I want to have videos that are done. I'm just going to go out of town for a long weekend, but the day that I come back is usually one of my main recording days that I do during the week. So I will probably have a couple of these, or at least one will go then. Okay, I'm going to close this box and then scoot the other one over so that way I can get into that smaller box. So let me rearrange and I will be right back. Okay, I am back and going to get started back. This one's going to be on the 300s, or 3000s. Let's see. That one's the one I'm going to dump. And again, these aren't any order. Let's see. These are 33 through 36. That's, let me go through these real quick. 30, there's a lot of 33s, 37, 30s. This is 3300s on. So the ones that are just the 3000s, those I guess were in the other box after all. I couldn't reach it, so that was okay. Probably have to move it back around again. 37, 30 goes there. I'm just sorting these out really quick, making it easier. 33 and 37. Okay. So let's start on the 3300, making sure you can see okay. It's 3362. I'm hoping tomorrow I will be able to just sit and diamond paint if I can get everything done today that I want to get done, but I still have to do some cleaning in the house, and I need to do some more laundry. Seems like our laundry is just a never-ending battle. And I don't even do my husband's laundry. I do our towels. I do all of our towels, and then I do mine and my daughter's. He does his own laundry, and I still can't stay caught up. 3721. I don't do laundry during the week like I should. I should come home from work and just put on a load of laundry. I mean, it wouldn't take that long. I just don't do it. I'll start doing that maybe on Fridays and then do Friday and Saturday. But then on Saturday, I get busy doing other things. I don't go back upstairs to do the laundry because our bedrooms are upstairs. Our laundry is upstairs in the hall. And when I'm in the basement, I don't want to go up and down 2 flights of stairs. I guess that's laziness. When I'm down there, we've always had our laundry on the main level. And in this house, it was upstairs. And I wasn't sure how I was going to like it. But I actually do, because now you don't have to carry your laundry up and down the stairs. So that makes it really nice. I'm going to have to order some more of these bags. I get these bags through Amazon. I've had them for a long time, but I think I'm going to have to order some more. It's starting to get a little low. Let's see, 3348. Check that color may be off, and that's fine. And these are good, sturdy bags, which makes it nice because when the diamonds get a little heavy, it doesn't overweight the bag. All right, so let's see here, 3726. Thought about doing this as a whip and chat instead of, I guess it would be a kit down and chat, but I really decided not to because I like to diamond paint and talk to you guys about stuff that's going on, family things, and I will do that on Tuesday. Don't want to say too much of what happened this week because then I won't have anything to say on Tuesday. All right, almost have one box that's completely empty. This one, 3740. This isn't too bad doing the boxes like this. I really wanted everything in one box. Right now my squares are that way, but it's in a trunk. It looks like a trunk, and it's a lot larger. But I know that's not going to last for a long time, to where I'm going to have a second one. I'll just have to get a second box, just fine. All right, that one works. Now another one I can empty out. These are coming off really well. I can't believe how nice that these are coming off the labels. It's just, they're just coming right off of here. I don't have to pry them off. There's not a residue that's left. This was my first Diamond Painting Deutschland that I actually did finish. Now this has static in it, but this is my bag that I have my drills in, and not the drills from Diamond Painting Deutschland. I was surprised when I went to kit up my last one, my latest one from Diamond Painting Deutschland, how much static that it had. I was really surprised because I haven't heard of any static. And I'm sure it's our weather. Our weather is so crazy. I mean, it's starting to look really nice out, but we're supposed to, as I said, some bad weather coming in. And looking outside, you wouldn't think we were going to have bad weather. We had talks about grilling out tomorrow night, but it's supposed to start raining and just be nasty, and so we're going to do that tonight. And I hate going to the grocery store on Saturdays. I absolutely hate it. But I have to, unfortunately. All right, there's that one. Now I'm going to have to bring this other one back, which is right here, so it shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit. I'm going to straighten it out so you can see it a little better. I really do like this box. I like the way that the cards are. It was a little more than what I probably should have paid for a box, but it came with everything already done, which was exceptionally nice because I didn't have to do it. I think that's okay. I'm going to be working on the 3000s now. So I have these. There's not that many really. 3064. And looking at these, I don't know, I just have this desire just to run a diamond paint. I guess it's because I'm looking at all these diamonds and thinking how pretty that they are. And I want to get started on Fly Me to the Moon. You would think, because I had just finished this huge project, I'd want to do something smaller. But I did work on my cross-stitch conversion today. That was a lot of fun. I don't put enough time into that one, and I really enjoy it. I just don't do it, and I need to. But it's going to be one of those projects that's going to take more than 1 year because it's huge. And I'm okay with that. And I did want a long-term project, so I think that it will be fun. I need to have another video come out on that one because I have changed how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do the 8 panels anymore. I started doing that, and the more I thought about it, I thought this is not going to work because I know me. I'm going to get finished with 2 or 3 panels, and then the boredom is going to set in, and I'm not going to want to do it. And then I'm going to have these unfinished panels for a long time. So I decided that's probably not the best thing for me, and decided it's probably going to be best to make this one into one, which is what I did. 30. All right, there's that one. This one gets trashed. I really messed that one up. That's the one that I put those extra drills in. Alrighty. My daughter has gotten snow again in South Dakota, and we're just getting rain. I was really hoping we'd get a little bit of snow, but since it's already March, I don't see that happening. But now March and April are our rainy season here. So usually we have more dry in March than we do rain. But so far, March has come in with a lot of rain, a lot of winds. It's been cold, it's been hot, our flowers are blooming, which isn't a really good idea for our flowers. They need to stop because we're supposed to have a really cold snap this week and our flowers are going to probably die. 3022. Alrighty, I have 4 more. Once I get these 4 completed, I have emptied out 3 of my Harbor Freight containers. So that's really exciting. And I don't have to get Goo Gone and try to get all the sticky residue off because there's not any. I love it. Okay, let's see, 3051. I need to do my nails. I've been putting that off because I purchased some nail strips and there's some that I really wanted some new ones that just came out from Color Street, and I'm waiting on that to come in. And I also like to have a break in between putting anything on my nails, even though those strips, the nail strips, they are perfectly healthy for your nails. It's not going to hurt them. But mine have had such bad wear and tear from years of having to use gel or using the fake nails. And so I'm just kind of letting them do their own thing for a little bit. They don't look the greatest, but I love Color Street. And if you're interested in a sample of Color Street, I have a lot of samples. I'll be glad to send you a sample. Just, let me know. And then there is a link under descriptions where you can order from Color Street. And if you order, I might receive a small commission. And that's something else that I am putting back into my channel. So just thought I would throw that out there. And they're so easy. I cannot paint my nails myself. It is just, I can do my left hand, no problem. But my right hand, I just really can't because I have problems with my left hand anyway. I had surgery a few years ago on my hand, and there's a lot of things that I really have a hard time doing, and trying to hold my left hand steady so I can paint my nails. That is just not something that I'm having a really easy time with. And so with these strips, it's so easy. You just put the strip on and then you just use a nail file or your nails. My nails are so thin right now and short. I can't really use my nails like that, but I use a nail file and it even comes in with your nail strips. And so that makes it really nice. And you can mix and match. I've never mixed my nail polish before to where I have different colors, but I've seen people do it. And I think it looks kind of cool. So I may do that experiment. And it's a lot cheaper. I was spending so much money on my nails every 2 to 3 weeks. It was ridiculous. And then my daughter loves getting hers done. So I can't get mine done unless I get hers done because then I don't feel right. So it just added up. And then when Maddie was living here, we'd all 3 go. And of course I paid for both my kids. And it just got to be
a huge expense. All right, I have 3 of these emptied. I'm so excited. My box is starting to get full. I'm going to just put this in here for now. I'm not going to keep this in here because this is my Bella Art Day Nicole tray and I like to use it quite a bit. So there are those. Those are done. I have 3 of these that are left, that are done. And then I have 4 that I have to do. So I guess on part 2, I will do those, or I may go ahead and do my Elizabeth Ward. I might do that one and then maybe one of the other trays that I have. So I can go ahead and start using my Elizabeth Ward. That'll be exciting. I'm ready to use that one again. Thanks so much for spending time with me. This really made the time go faster, being able to talk to you while I go through all of these drills that I have left over. I love that my boxes match. That's kind of cool. I do really appreciate you being here. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I think that you would like the content that I have here. I'm getting up towards 1,000 subscribers. And once I hit 1,000, I am going to have a giveaway. And I will discuss the giveaway and what that's going to consist of once I get closer. I still have a ways to go. I mean, it could be the end of March, it could be May, or even later. It just depends on how many subscribers that I get and what all happens on the channel. But I really do appreciate all your support and all that you have done for me for this year, the entire year that I have been diamond painting. It has been a little over a year since I started my channel. And so I have really come to embrace and just love getting on and speaking to you guys and letting you know what I have learned and different tricks and different things. And I plan on continuing to do so. Hope that you have a great rest of your day. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.